Welcome back. Got the DPMS G2 AP4 modified how I had planned out to have it done. Installed the Magpul CTR collapsible stock, the Magpul Mo Plus pistol grip, the Midwest Industries key mod rail for the DPMS G2, shaved down the front sight post, and installed a Battle Comp BABC. No sights on it right now. Let's get some weights on it without sights. With no sights, the modified rifle comes in at 6 pounds, 15.6 ounces, so just a shave under 7 pounds. Go ahead and add some backup rear sights or backup sights. See how it weighs with just irons. Before I get into putting the sights on, one thing I noticed between the upper receiver rail and the top rail of the Midwest Industries rail, what I like to do every time I install a free float handguard or any kind of continuous top rail is I have these rail risers from Yankee Hill, just had to kick around. I always like to just bridge the gap between the upper receiver and the rail just to make sure it's lined up evenly. It does not slide nicely. There's no nice transition. There's something either out of the DPMS or the Midwest Industries that's just slightly out of spec that doesn't allow this rail riser to slide smoothly across the transition. With a rubber mallet, it is able to slowly bridge the gap. Also, on most handguards that I've installed, actually all of them I've installed, the space between these two holes where the screws for the rail riser go in, there's enough gap between these two where I can have one screw on the rail and one screw on the upper receiver. Not able to do that with the Midwest Industries. This first rail piece is just a little too wide, so you can't get a nice even spacing on there. So something to note. I don't know if it's something with mine or all of them, but something to note. I've installed the Magpul M-Bus Gen 2 rear sight that it came with from the factory. I've also put on a Daniel Defense fixed front sight post. I have a lot of these. I really like these. This one's in tan because I had it kicking around. Eventually I'll get this rifle its own dedicated one in black. So let's see what the weight is with the iron sights. £7 pounds, 2.0 ounces. So as a base rifle, even just with iron sights, we're underneath the original weight of the AP4 in the stock configuration, which was 7 pounds, 4.9 ounces. So somewhere along the lines of modifying this rifle, we've shaved off 2.9 ounces. I've put on the optic that I plan on using on this rifle primarily, which is the Burris MTAC 1:4 variable power scope. Let's see what the total final weight is with this optic. £8 pounds, 7.4 ounces. Not too bad. Now that my rifle's in its modified configuration, the pistol grip, the back strap here, follows the receiver rail lines nicely. There's no visible gap between the pistol grip and the receiver. There is a slight step from the trigger guard that's milled into the lower receiver and the front of the grip, probably about 1 millimeter. It's a little annoying. Might take some sandpaper to the pistol grip and just sand that down a little bit. It should make a really nice smooth transition in there. Installing the battle comp was a little tricky, just due to the fact that the stock muzzle device that came with the rifle is a true 3/4 inch width between the wrench flats. The BABC, slightly bigger. I had to use an adjustable wrench. Couldn't use the armorer's wrench because it wouldn't fit on there. Also had to modify the armorer's wrench a little bit to make it a little skinnier, because the gap between the crush washer and the first ridge on the BABC wasn't enough room to get a standard armorer's wrench, combination armorer's wrench that I have in there to get a good purchase on the wrench flats. I don't know if the BABC, all of them are designed like that, but this one was wider than a standard 3/4 inch wrench flat. Something to look forward to and keep in mind if you do go to swap out for a BABC. So now that the rifle's finished, let's go ahead and head out to the range, see if these changes make any appreciable difference. 100-yard target with an EOTech 0 to 125 inch low from point of aim. The first 5-round string, 100. Black aiming point. You can see all 5 rounds right there in the target. This is a non-magnified EOTech 511. It's a 200-yard target, 8-inch aiming square. There's 3 rounds on the right were from my first 5-round string. 2 rounds, I'm assuming, are off in the black to the right. Pretty strong winds out here. I don't know if have that much effect. The second 5 rounds, those from the black, and that little fire there. Again, this is an unmagnified EOTech 551. I misspoke to 100, or I said it was a 511. It is in fact a 551. So that's a 200-yard group, unmagnified red dot. So the wind is really bad out here at the range. Wouldn't be a desert if it wasn't windy. Just got done taking this out to 100 and 200. I'll splice in the targets. I had to use my EOTech just because I brought my Burris 1-4. Apparently I didn't torque the rings down enough, and as I was trying to zero it, the scope was starting to move within the rings. So I just ditched it for today. I didn't bring the tools with me. So sometime in the future, I'll get that tightened up, bring it back out here to see how it does. Even with the EOTech, that one MOA dot in the center does pretty well. So I'll come back over here to the short range just to see about the controllability of the rifle now in its newest configuration, especially with that battle comp BABC on the end. I brought my 5.56 rifle, which is my primary rifle, just for comparison, see how the times stack up getting rounds on target, getting good hits. I'm going to go ahead and put 5 rounds down range, see how it does. BABC is awesome. Very little, if none, muzzle rise. Straight kick back. My jaw does kind of feel a little funny in the stock when it's coming back. Oh well. Pushes you back quite a bit, especially when you start picking up the speed. On order some Noveski key mod covers. Definitely going to need them. They shave down front sight base. And these holes, these oval holes in the bottom of the handguard, you get a good tight grip, your skin will squeeze up in there. And it's close enough to those holes where it gets a little warm. Go ahead and put my gloves on, keep shooting. I have here my started life as a Rock River entry operator. Has the Spikes BAR rail on it, back pole, AF G4 grip, Voltor stock, and a Smith Vortex flash hider. See a Rock River two-stage trigger. See how quick we do 5 rounds on target. Five rounds, not my fastest, 1.08. See how the 308 does. Got the 308 out, see how it does. A little slow reacting to the beep there. 1.31. See if I can get that down a little bit more. Very nice rifle from DPMS, especially that battle comp on there. I like it a lot. Money worth spent. Good job, DPMS. I was just shooting a couple of rapid strings, and I just had a failure to feed. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. The bolt didn't come back far enough to catch the back of the case. It's the first stoppage other than that one failure to fire